Hello everyone, thanks for tuning in to today's first video. Well, here we go. It's time to do another season of the long-range updates. We're up to summer 2021 now. So this is the first summer 2021 update. We'll be doing summer updates every week, or virtually every week, from now through to the end of May. And we will release the GavsWeatherVids.com summer 2021 forecast at the end of May, the last Sunday of May, which I do not know what that is at this stage, but I will give you a date in a subsequent update. So yeah, here we go again. Time for another summer 2021 season of updates, and I shall get on with that for you in a moment. Just to say that coming up later on today, we're going to have GavsWeatherVids Sunny Roundup, and we're going to be live streaming from 6 o'clock. We're going to show some long range data in our live stream for summer. So it's summer at GavsWeatherVids. Today we'll bring you some long range data in our live stream from 6 o'clock. Huge thank you to Richard for the summer 2020 updates gift. What do you think about that then, everybody? Down to the beach, eh? Maybe we will, by the time we get through to the summer, maybe we'll all be able to start getting out and heading to the beach. We'll wait and see. Hopefully we will, fingers crossed. So thank you so much, Rich, for the GavsWeatherVids summer 2020 updates gift. Absolutely fantastic. Thank you so much, Rich. Also, thank you so much to Shryan as well, Shryan Bruin, for getting all of the relevant years together for me for this update. I'll talk you through all of the data in a moment. We're going to be looking at summer to winter to summer data for this one. So yeah, thank you so much to Shryan, and of course, as always, thank you to the amazing Terry Scully as well. I think that's pretty much everything that I've got to tell you. So let's get on with the video. Then I'm going to start off by having a look at England Wales precipitation first of all. So this is the England Wales precipitation page at the UK Met. This goes all the way back to 1766, of course. Let's scroll down through the centuries, of the decades, of the years, all the way down to 2021 and 2020. Here we go then. So for precipitation for December 2020, we have 159.1 millimeters. For January 2021, 147.3 millimeters, and for February, England Wales precipitation 79.3 millimeters. Add those 3 months together, and we actually come out with a top 10, top 20, but also a top 10 actually, wettest winter on record for England Wales precipitation. So very simply, the first thing we're going to look at, start us off for this first summer 2020 update, will be summers following the top 20 wettest winters. Very simple to start us off. So here we go. At number 20, we've got the winter of 1882-1883. So the summer of 1883, following the 20th wettest winter for England Wales precipitation, is very, very unsettled indeed, with deep low pressure right over northern Western Europe. A cool and very wet summer to start us off at number 20 in 1883. At number 19, we've got the summer of 2001, following the 19th wettest winter for England Wales precipitation, 2000-2001. This one's quite an unsettled summer, with below average heights to our west and northwest, above average heights to our southwest, winds in westerly direction. It does have a few heat waves. It's quite a warm summer, actually, considering it's an unsettled summer. It is also quite a warm, humid sort of summer, but a lot of overcast days and a lot of cloudy, wet days as well. At number 18, we've got summer of 1923. This one's not too bad. It has some above average heights to our southwest, below average heights to our northwest. So that one, 1923, is a rather drier summer. Then we go through to the summer of 1979. Number 17, the 17th wettest winter on record for England Wales precipitation is 1978-1979. Of course, a lot of the precipitation in that winter happens to be snow. The summer of 1979 is quite unsettled. It has lower pressure to our north, higher pressure to our west and southwest. We send the jet stream and wind flow on a northwest-southeast alignment. So a relatively cool and rather mixed summer for 1979. And number 16, we've got 1911, 1912, with deep low pressure over the UK and Western Europe, higher pressure around Greenland and Iceland. Again, the jet stream is sent southwards. So, very wet winter, that one. Very wet summer, I should say, that one. It's one of the worst summers, actually, of the 20th century. You do not want to get a repeat of the summer of 1912. Wow, that is a very, very wet winter, to say the least. One of the worst summers of the 20th century. Number 15, we've got the summer of 1977. This one is rather mixed. It has higher pressure to our north-northwest, lower pressure to our south-southwest. So with this one, we just bring in like an easterly type flow. And it's rather mixed, you know. It ends the run of the two hot summers of 75 and 76. It brings that very abruptly to an end. It does have some drier days, but overall it's a pretty cool and damp summer in 1977. Number 14, we've got the summer of 1937 following the top 20 wettest winters. This was some higher pressure through northern and western Europe. Winds sort of in from more of an easterly direction with this one. So a fair amount of dry weather in the summer of 1937. That one doesn't look too bad, does it? Number 13, we've got the summer of 1966. So this one is a wet summer, has low pressure across northern and west Europe, higher pressure in the middle of the Atlantic, quite a cool and wet summer in 1966. 1966 is a very wet year, and as part of that is the summer of 66. But at number 12, we've got the summer of 2020. So this one has lower pressure over top of the country, but higher pressure to our sort of east. So it's a rather mixed summer, but it does also pull up a lot of hot southerly winds, especially so through July and into early August. Has a very hot period through July, late July and into August. But otherwise, you know, it's quite a mixed summer. Really, in 2020. Number 11, we've got the summer of 1916, following the 11th wettest winter, which is 1915-1916. So, by the way, just going back to that, the winter of 2019-20 is actually the 12th wettest winter. So that means that winter just gone, 2019-20, does 2020-21, does actually beat winter 2019-20 for England and Wales precipitation. So just going to show you how wet this last winter's been, doesn't it? Number 11, we've got summer, I should say, of 1916, following the winter of 1915-1916. This one is quite a cool and wet summer with lower pressure to our east and bringing in wind from like a northerly northeast direction. There is a bit of a blocking signal as well. Of course, this one is setting up the very cold winter of 1916-1917, winter of 1915-16, perhaps a little bit of a teaser winter as well, especially early and late. So a cool and wet summer for 1916. We got the summer of 1960, 1959, 1960. This one has low pressure almost over top of the UK. It is over top of the UK actually. Top of a ridge of high pressure to our north. So yes, that's like a very wet and unsettled summer at number 10. Number 15, we've got summer of 2016. Number 9, I should say, we've got summer of 2015-2016. So this one is a drier and warmer summer, especially later. So this is a bit of a back-loaded summer. That does actually start quite cool in June of 2016, quite cool and wet, but it gets progressively drier and hotter as the summer goes on. It has quite a warm August and a very warm September, very hot spell in September of 2016, which of course is into autumn. But it is a little bit of a backloaded summer. Overall, a drier and warmer summer, probably after a cool, wet start at number 9. Number 8, we've got the summer of 1869 following the mildest and also 8th wettest winter on record, which is 1868-1869. The summer of 1869 has high pressure just to our west, and we bring down like a northwesterly type flow. So quite cool, and quite a cool summer, ridge out to our west, but also a relatively dryish summer as well. So a cool, dry summer for 1869. At number 7, we got 2021, of course, following the 7th wettest winter for England Wales precipitation, which was 2020-2021. But what will the summer of 2001 reveal? It's all to be determined, isn't it? Questions for the summer of 2001. And number 6, we've got the summer of 1994. This is quite a hot summer. It has lower pressure, though, out to our north and northwest. It has higher pressure to our south and southwest. So it is quite a mix of summer, but it does contain a hot July in particular. And then it goes a little bit down the tubes into August. But certainly the early to mid part of the summer of 1994 is pretty hot. Then at number 5, we've got the summer of 1995. So 94, 95, both coming back to back to number 6 and number 5. This is a classic hot summer. This is the first one we've seen, but it's a classic. Almost a daddy of hot summers, really, with high pressure centred right over top of the UK. Lots of easy winds, very, very hot and dry summer in 1995. The ground was baked, the grass went brown. And yeah, tremendous hot, dry, drought summer, 1995. It was actually a drier summer in 1995 than 1976, a daddy of summers. But of course, it came after a very wet spell, unlike 76, which came at the end of a prolonged dry spell. At number 4, we've got the summer of 1877. This one is much more unsettled, with low pressure coming in off the Atlantic along the strong westerly jet stream as well. That's a much wetter summer in 1877. Number 3, we've got the summer of 1990. This one has high pressure to our south and southwest, lower pressure to our north and northwest, and up come those southwesterly to southerly type winds. That's a drier and hotter summer in 1990. It does start a bit cool and wet in June, hence a low pressure signal to our northwest. But when it gets going, it's a bit of a late starter, but when it gets going, my word, it's the summer of 1990, tremendous. July and especially early August, really, really hot spell, where we reach 100 Fahrenheit for the first time on modern temperature records. Anyway, number 2, we've got the summer of 1915, back to cool and unsettled with low pressure across the UK, Western Europe, and into North Atlantic as well. And then at number 1, can you guess what it is? Yes, it's 2014, the wettest winter on record. At number 1 for England Wales precipitation is winter of 2013-14, that horrendous stormy wet winter. The summer of 2014 looks like this. Does actually have blocking. Has a warm July, very strange summer, has a warm July, but a really cool August. August 2014, I think it's the coolest since 1993. So very, very strange summer. Coolest August for like 21 years, wasn't it? After a hot or a very warm July. Anyway, averaging it all out, it does have an oil and blocking signal. Winds tend to be in from the east, and as I say, very, very poor August after a really warm July. Right, putting all of that together, this is how all tunes combined are looking following the top 20 wettest winters. We tend to get high pressure to our west-northwest, low pressure to our west-southwest, and winds sort of coming in from like an easterly type direction. So an unsettled signal for June. Gets worse as we go through into July. This is how all July's combined are looking following the top 20 wettest winters. Lower pressure just tend to be covering Western Europe. Higher pressure blocking to our north. Jet stream being pushed southwards as well. So quite a wet and pretty cool signal for those Julys. All August combined, following the top 20 wettest summers, don't really get much better. The blocking is still there over Greenland. The trough is still parked over North Atlantic into West Europe. The jet stream is still pushed southwards as well. Quite a cool wet signal for those Augusts. And all summers combined, following the top 20 wettest winters, again looking unsettled. So overall, these wet winters tend to be followed by pretty wet summers as well, I'm afraid, with a lot of low pressure across the northern and western Europe. Let's narrow things down. Just look at the years after 1950. So if we narrow things down, just look at all Junes combined, following the top 20 wettest winters post 1950. Rather more anticyclonic signal now. High pressure over Scandinavia, reaching to the north and northwest of the UK. Lower pressure to our south. Winds tend to be in from an easterly direction. A dry and warm signal for those Junes. July still looks a bit dodgy, really, doesn't it? With higher pressure still out to our west. Lower pressure around Iceland and also to our east, probably sending a jet stream on a northwest, north-south alignment, and with low pressure close by, probably quite a cool and unsettled signal for those Julys. Not much better for all August combined post 1950 either. So June is a little bit better post 1950, but July and August still not looking very good at all, with lower pressure sent to our south along with the jet stream as well. Northern blocking signal also. Yes, generally quite a cool wet signal for those August. And lastly, for this batch of analogues, all summers combined, following the top 20 wettest winters on record post 1950, looking unsettled. High pressure in the northern latitude, low pressure across north and west Europe, winds in from like a northerly or northeasterly direction. A cool wet signal for those summers, albeit July's not as bad. Okay, sorry about that, everybody. I'm going to pause the video there, and when we come back, we're going to do it all over again, but we'll be looking at the winter central England temperature. What was that? What was that? What was that? I don't know. I'll see you very shortly. You get yourself a few nibbles, maybe, and I'll see you in a couple of minutes. Right, see you soon. Okay. We're back and we're ready to resume the first summer 2021 update. What was that? What was that? What was that? We're ready to resume the first summer 2021 update from GavsWeatherVids. If you're enjoying the summer update so far, please smash your like button. Let us know in the comments what you think, and make sure you subscribe to our channel. We're on the grind to 11k subscribers, and it has turned into one hell of a grind. Our subs have totally crashed, really. So we might get to 11k like in 4 years or something. But please give us a sub if you would like to do that. Tell your friends, tell your family. At this point, you can tell anybody, really. I'll take anybody, tell anybody to subscribe. Thank you so much, everybody, for doing that. Right, let's carry on then. A bit of a bumper with this one. We're going to be starting off again looking at the winter CT. So this is a CT page at GavsWeatherVids.com. Central temperature, of course, is the longest and most reliable temperature and consistent temperature index anywhere on Earth. Goes all the way back to the year of 1659. I always do my lines wonky, don't I? Back to the year of 1659. Of course, the further back you go, more unreliable it gets. Right, let's scroll down then through the centuries and come down to 2021 and 2020. Here it is then. So 2020 just there. 2020 December 2020 comes out at 5.8, CT 5.8. January 2021 comes out CT at 3.1. And February 2021 CT comes out at 5.1. Averaging that all out for the 3 months of the season of the winter 2021, we come out with a central England temperature of 4.4, almost bang on the long-term 81 to 2010 average, actually. Right, so we're going to be looking at summers following winters with a CT range of 4.3 to 4.5, which of course places winter 2020-21 slap bang in the middle of that range at 4.4. Right, so let's do this then. The first winter will be 1843. This one with higher pressure to the north, lower pressure to the south, winds in from an easterly direction. A drier summer there, and potentially quite a warmish summer too. Our next summer, with a CT range of 4.3 to 4.5, is 1844. Much more unsettled, low pressure over top of the UK, combined with northern blocking as well. That's a cold, wet summer for 1844. Our next summer is 1853. Let's do this one with higher pressure to our northwest. That's Svalbard. Lower pressure over the UK and Scandinavia. Gav's getting giddy. Gav's getting giddy. Gav's getting giddy. Lower pressure across the northern and western parts of Europe as well, by the way. Our next summer is 1862. Look at this one. Low pressure dominates in the summer of 1862. A very, very wet summer following winter CT range of 4.3 to 4.5. Thank you so much to Schreier for getting all of these together for me as well, all of these years. Our next summer is 1868. This is a hot summer. This is the first one that we've had for this batch of analogues. So a hot summer in 1868. Dry, hot, and a bit of a classic, actually. Then we go through the summer of 1885. It's very bizarre looking 500 millibar height anomaly. I have to say, it's a very strange anomaly. Low pressure down here in the North Atlantic, but a lot of high pressure over to the west-northwest with a trough through northern Europe. It looks like that's sort of a cool, dry summer in 1885. Then we've got the summer of 1894. A lot of summers from the 1800s with this CT range for the winter, you'll notice. Higher pressure to our north and lower pressure over to the south of the country, winds in from the west. That summer is following a very cold winter for 1894-1895. Next up, we've got 1896. This one's quite a cool, wet summer. Low pressure to our north, to our west, I should say, in the southwest. High pressure is to our north. Winds in from like an east or a northeast direction. That is a wet and cool summer in 1896. Then we've got the summer of 1901 with high pressure over Scandinavia. Winds in from an easterly direction in the summer of 1901. So that's a much drier and warmer summer. That's a nice summer for 1901. 1906 is a relatively dry summer as well, but with this one, the high pressure's bridging down sort of from the north. So it is probably a little bit on the cool side, but it is a relatively dry summer, and again, quite a nice summer. It has a very, very hot spell of weather at the beginning of September. Summer of 1915 has low pressure over UK, West Europe, and the North Atlantic. Jet stream is pushed southwards as well. That's a wet summer for 1915. And we've got the summer of 1928. This one following a winter CT of 4.3 to 4.5. That follows a teaser winter as well. And the summer of 1928-1929 is also, or I should say the winter of 1928-1929 is also a very cold winter. So this summer is following a bit of a teaser winter. The summer itself of 1928, getting back to summer, which is what we're here for, of course. Summer itself of 1928 is very wet with low pressure dominating the scene. We've got summer of 1944 next. This one's quite a miserable summer as well. So low pressure just generally in the ascendancy across much of Western Europe. We've got 1946 turning up next, following a winter CT range of 4.3 to 4.5. Winter of 1945 to 1946 is also a little bit of a teaser. And of course, this summer is preceding the extremely cold winter of 1947, the extremely cold and snowy winter 1947. Again, the summer of 1946 following that teaser winter and preceding a very cold and snowy winter. The summer of 1946 is wet and miserable and cool with low pressure dominating the weather. Summer of 1966 showed up in the first analog package. It's back again. Just quite a cool and unsettled summer in what was a very wet year, of course, in 1966. Summer 1971 has higher pressure out to our west, lower pressure to our north and east and south. Again, just looks like quite an unsettled summer in 1971. Summer of 1981 shows up next following a winter CT range of 4.2 to 4.4. This one is a dry and cool summer, relatively unusual combination, but this one is dry and cool with higher pressure to our west, lower pressure to our east, winds tending to be in from like a northwesterly to northerly direction. That is another summer that is preceding a very cold winter for 1981-1982. Are you noticing a pattern here, everyone? Now, this is a genuinely hot summer. This is 1983. So, look at this one. High pressure dominates the weather. Low pressure is up to the northern line of the jet stream. Contains, up until quite recently, the hottest July on record. It was beaten, of course, in more recent years. But for a while, July 1983 was the hottest July and the hottest month on record. And then got the summer of 2001. Again, this showed up in the previous analog package as well. So this one with lower pressure to our west, winds in from a west-southwest direction. It's an unsettled summer, but also quite a mild summer. And then quite a long gap to 2015. So this one, of course, is a cool and miserable summer, really unsettled summer anyway, with low pressure to our west-northwest, high pressure to our south, blocking within the northern latitudes, drawing up the air from like a southwesterly to almost southerly direction. Does have one extremely hot spell of weather at the beginning of July 2015, but otherwise it's a very poor summer, really. And we've got another hot summer here. It's 2018, so of course this one has tremendous high pressure, reaching all the way. Oh, it's high pressure. Follow it back. The high pressure virtually going all the way around the northern hemisphere. Actually, look at this. You can follow it all the way around from the Americas into the Pacific, into Russia, into Northern Europe, and then on into the UK and back into North Atlantic. Again, lower pressure is around Greenland and Iceland. Of course, this is a very hot summer, particularly so in July of 2018. It does go a little bit down the pan in August of 2018. That's the last year then. So putting all of that together, this is how all Junes combined are looking following a CT range of 4.3 to 4.5. Unsettled for these Junes. Look at this. Low pressure is dominating across northern and western Europe. So a cool, wet signal for those Junes. All Julys combined also looking quite unsettled with, again, low pressure over into the east of the country, higher pressure out in the middle of the Atlantic. Again, quite a cool, wet signal for those Julys. All August combined increases, but northern blocking around Greenland actually sends a low pressure southwards. Winds tend to be in from an easterly direction. So all of these summer months are looking very mixed and unsettled, aren't they? That's a cool wet signal with northern blocking for those August. And all summers combined, you'll not be surprised to know, all summers combined from a wind CT range of 4.3 to 4.5 look unsettled with low pressure through west of Europe combined with northern blocking. It is a cool wet signal for those summers. Narrowing things down, though, to post-1950 does make quite a big difference, actually. So this is how all Junes combined look following a winter CT range of 4.3 to 4.5 post-1950. We tend to get high pressure beginning to develop just to our west. Lower pressure tends to be to our north. The jet stream tends to be pushed northwards as well. So a drier signal for those Junes. A drier and also a warmer signal. All Julys combined look a lot better as well post-1950. So with the Julys, again, the ridge from the Atlantic into the UK and on into Northern Europe. Lower pressure up to our northwest. Jet stream push northwards as well. Overall, quite a dry and pretty warm signal for those Julys. All August combined post 1950. Again, much better, isn't it, for dry and warm weather? It's a little bit of a twist, isn't it? I wasn't expecting this. This is a little bit of a twist to end with. All August combined, following a winter CT range of 4.3 to 4.5 post 1950. The higher pressure is to our east, and so we're probably drawing up quite a warm, maybe relatively hot, sort of southerly southeasterly wind. Low pressure up towards Greenland and Iceland, a much drier and warmer signal for those August. And then lastly, all summers combined from a winter CT range of 4.3 to 4.5 post 1950. It is anticyclonic with high pressure in from the Atlantic into the UK and into North and West Europe. Lower pressure to our north. Jet stream push northwards as well. Overall, a dry and warm signal for those summers. What a way to end. Wow. Wow. I don't know. What do you make of that then, everybody? So sorry. Right, what do we make of that then? So a little bit of a twist at the end. Throughout all of this, it's been looking pretty grim, hasn't it? If you want dry and warm weather, it's been looking pretty, you know, not great. Let's be honest. But we come to that final set of all years combined post 1950, and they suddenly looked so much better, didn't they? So maybe all's not lost. Certainly all is not lost. We're only one update in, and we're going to be doing summer updates right way to the end of May, so there is a huge amount still to play for. Right, if you enjoyed this first summer update, please smash the like button. Let us know in the comments what you think, and make sure to subscribe to our channel. We're going to be back later on GavsWeatherVids. So round up, and we'll be live streaming after 6 o'clock. We're going to live stream some long range data for you. So I'll see you after 6 live, or at 6 live. But don't get check out GavsWeatherVids soon around if you'd like to do that. For the summer 2021 update number 1, that's all for now, and thanks for watching.